Harris County employees are at the heart of the services we provide to our residents and community. Commissioners Court has prioritized creating a more consistent and equitable compensation structure across the organization. Hello, I'm Harris County Administrator Erica Lee Carter, and today I'm joined by our Chief People Officer, Andrea Coughlin Rowley, from Human Resources and Talent to discuss the county's compensation and pay equity project and what employees can expect moving forward. Thank you for being here today.
My pleasure.
We just left the morning of Commissioners Court, and the district clerk's office had employees that came to reflect on what these changes, the impact of this pay equity project. What were you thinking as you heard their comments?
Administrator Lee Carter, I was so happy and so honored on behalf of my dedicated team who has worked tirelessly to affect this project, along with department heads across the county, people from OCA, all across the county. We've had participation, we've had leadership, but it's been difficult because we've had so many different approaches to compensation throughout the county. So bringing it all together has been quite a major effort. So I was grateful throughout the whole project. I often thought of the employees who would be receiving the increases ultimately and what that would mean. So it was wonderful to hear it.
And what we heard was education, potentially investing in a home, getting more stable transportation. These were your primary needs that those employees discussed today. But we'll get back to the nitty-gritty details I think some employees are excited to hear. Can you give our employees an overview of what the Compensation Pay Equity Project is and how it came to be?
Yes, so as the gratitude was expressed today to the Commissioners Court, they created this opportunity by funding a comp and pay equity study that again would be countywide and would provide us with the opportunity to work together, including with a consultant who is an expert in the field, to look at our compensation, our job classifications, all of our jobs, 22,000 jobs across the county, and understand what people are doing, where there were common activities, and bring those together in classification structure that is more consistent and equitable as we look at roles in different parts of the county. So with that, we were able to identify some positions where people were not compensated at the market rates. And that's where the kinds of stories that we heard about today, where we're able to deliver the increases to bring people up to the minimum and make sure that they have market competitive compensation for the great work that they're doing for our citizens.
Thank you. And when you say structure, this means if you have a role and job title in one department and for some reason go to another, but in the same role, there should be some consistency there.
That's absolutely right, Administrator. There should be, and we're bringing this much more together. It's not 100% there yet. This has been a huge effort, significant progress, and we are quite far along, but we'll continue to work over the next 3 years and evergreen to make sure that we look at least a third of our jobs across the county every year, so that within any 3-year period, we would have reviewed them all. And as we do that more, we'll come together more and be able to perhaps reduce the level of classification so there's even more consistency, et cetera.
Yes. Now, of course, one question employees may have is whether everyone will receive a pay adjustment. Can you explain how the new compensation structure is being implemented and what employees may expect next?
So honestly, about a third of employees are going to receive a pay increase at this time. And again, that is because many people are already making market competitive compensation for the work that they're doing. So this isn't about performance management, although our new compensation philosophy does contemplate incorporating that into our pay structure at some point in time in the near term. But currently, this is about just getting everyone to the market-based pay. And then depending on what other factors may have played in different departments or in different need, there may be some increases for time and role that make sense. But it's not about a general pay increase for the entire population.
Yeah. And I think we want to emphasize, and you've said it several times, this is the start. This doesn't end with the May 22nd full implementation change, but it is the start of an ongoing process that your team, HRT, and you, of course, as Chief People Officer, will lead. So lastly, and then, of course, want to hear any of your final thoughts, how does this work support Harris County's long-term commitment to fairness, equity, and retention of our valuable employees?
It's meant to do just that. that. It's meant to increase the retention and make sure that our employees feel valued and that their work is appropriately compensated, to your point, fairly and equitably across the county.
Yeah. So I thank you, Chief People Officer Coughlin Rowley. I thank your team. I know they don't all want to be on camera, but you are representing their many, many hours, weekends of work, holidays that they've done to make this change come in on time, May 22nd. We encourage staff to continue to look. There's a website. Do you want to give a plug to the website?
Yeah, we have a comp and pay equity website, and it's published broadly. But if you can't find it, reach out to HRT and we'll be happy to point you in the right direction. And there you can even ask questions. So if you have a question you want to key in, someone from our team will get back to you.
Yeah, so we're trying to give you all the tools to understand this important change and improvement to elevate our pay structure, to elevate our engagement, and to make sure you understand that you deserve fair, equitable pay at Harris County. And with this project, we're headed towards a major step towards that goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator.